Hello! My sister came over from New Zealand last weekend and we went to the opera to see Love Never Dies, and this is the dress I wore, which is a beautiful teal colour with a little bit of gold and red in it, and so this is the makeup that I did to go with it, and I thought that I would do a tutorial on it. Just a little update, I probably won't be posting any Halloween videos this year just because I've got too much on and I'm just not going to try because I know that I'm probably not going to have a chance. I've got so many exams on. This is just a little video because I haven't done a tutorial for a while. So stay tuned and I hope you like it. Thanks, bye. So to start with, I'm going to apply my normal foundation, and this is a Clinique one and it's called Redness Solutions. I'm just putting a really thin layer on all over my face, just to give a nice even base. If you're worried about fallout from your eyeshadow, you can do the step last. So once I've applied my foundation, I'm just going to really lightly seal that by using a translucent powder all over, paying particular attention to my T-zone, but it's just a really light dusting. I'm now using Paintpot by MAC as a primer, and I'm using that all over my lid. I'm then going over with a matte light eyeshadow, and this is just to act as a base and help with my blending. I'm using an Inglot eyeshadow, and this is number 27, just on the inner corner of my eye and a little bit on the lower lash line on the inner corner as well, right across the tear duct. I'm going to be using these three colours from my Inglot palette, and these are number 24, 504 and 338. Starting with the lighter colour, and I'm using that on the majority of my lid from where that gold starts right out to the corner, and I'm spraying that with my vitamin E face mist, which is from the Body Shop. I load the colour onto the brush and then I spray the brush. I don't spray it onto my eyeshadow, and this one has rose water in it, and I just find that it really helps the eyeshadows really pop out, make them very vibrant, and they last for a really long time as well. If you want to, you can then go over with a little bit of the shadow dry just to seal it in. And the colour again that I'm using for this one is 24 by Inglot. So now I'm using 504 and 338 by Inglot, and I'm using a small angled brush to plot out where I want the colour, so I've got a nice sharp edge, and I'm just working that into the outer corner of my eye. So I draw the line where I want it and then I flick it upwards. This is called feathering, but you're using basically a flicking motion from that line. Once I've marked out where I want it, I'm just going to take a slightly larger brush and I'm just going to apply the colour. Also using a little bit of that number 24 colour just in the centre of the lower lash line, just to blend the gold and the darker green together. These colours here are matte, and they're from the Power of Matte collection, and they are amazing. They're really, really good, really pigmented as you can see. There's not much product on there and it goes a long, long way. I'm not using these ones wet as I did with the shimmer, I'm just using them dry. Now using a pencil brush or a bullet brush, whatever you want to call it, just a small tapered brush, I'm dipping that in a little bit of black, oops sorry, bumped the table, and the colour that I'm using is number 65, which is an Inglot. It's black and it has a little bit of silver flecks of glitter through it, so I'm just putting that right in the crease to define the socket. You don't have to do this, but it just makes it a little bit more dramatic, adds a little bit more pop to it. So you just blend that out lightly. And then after I've done this, I'm going to blend it out a little bit more with this brush, and then I'm going to take the brush that I was using to apply the colour, the teal colour, I'm just going to press over it so that you can't really see the black, but that it's darker. So it's darker in that socket, but it's not like a black socket. You can go and blend it out a little bit after this as well. So now I'm taking a blending brush and I'm just blending and diffusing the line just on my brow bone. And anywhere else that you might need it. Make sure that the colour is even on both sides and that the placement is even. If you need to, you might need to take a little bit of that teal colour again and just go and add it to the other eye. Make sure that they're both matching. Obviously you're going to be doing them both at the same time, not like I was, so you shouldn't have any problems. I'm just using a highlight and I'm using a really light shimmer and it has a tiny hint of gold in it. Now using a liquid liner, you can use any. The one that I'm using is the Stiletto one by Maybelline. And it has a nice felt nib on it. So when I line my eyes, I build up a little bit of a wing and then I take it from the highest point of my eye and build it down straightward. So I'm building up that area. When I line the bit between the highest point towards my nose, I'm actually not adding any size to it. That's not going to make sense. I'm just doing a really thin line, whereas on the outer side of my eye I'm making it thicker to build it up and make my eye appear larger. And then curl your lashes, and after you've curled them, apply some mascara. I like to sweep it down first just so that I don't have any eyeshadow fallout showing when I look downwards. And then you fill in your brows. I like to use a eyeshadow and then just use an angle brush, but you can do this with a pencil if you prefer. This step is completely optional. You don't have to do this. It's only if you want a little bit more drama or a little bit more dramatic look. I'm taking Alchemy, which is a precision ink by Illamasqua. It's a really gold metallic and I'm running that underneath my eye. Then using Harmony, which is a MAC colour, and I'm using that to contour. And then applying a little bit of blush just on the apples, just a really light soft blush, don't want it to be too dark. And then just using a neutral lip liner, and you can use whatever one you have. The one that I'm using is an NYX one, I'm not sure what the name is though. Just lining my lips, and then I'm going to go and fill it in with some colour. So now I'm going to fill in my lips, and the colours that I'm using are number 13 and number 25 from Inglot, and they're just neutral colours with a hint of pink that are mixed together. That's the total look, guys. I hope you liked it. Please feel free to leave me any comments, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks!